Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are battling my friend, a Funky Turtle. You've seen him on the channel before, so his team is going to be Tropius, Bastiodon, Clefable, Blastoise, Bronzong, and Sableye, and my team will consist of Venusaur, Alolan Muk, Lantern, Togekiss, Skarmory, and Lucario. So just trying out a different team. I felt like this team was pretty good. I don't know how much I really liked Venusaur for it, but outside of that, I think it's a pretty solid team. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, we have the Alolan Muk out right now. I do have that Acid Spray and Dark Pulse. I really like Alolan Muk, or an Acid Spray user in general, because we can get the Acid Spray. No, Alolan Muk is not good against Bastiodon, but we could still soften it up by using Acid Spray and lowering its defense. And then Lucario can come in, or something else, and do a lot of damage. So he will switch out into Sableye. I'm going to pull the switch into my Lantern. And he's going to go ahead and do a lot of damage to us, actually. Sableye has a good attack stat. And we're going to go ahead and shield this one. Shield that foul play because we don't want to take it. I do go ahead and fire off a Thunderbolt. I knew I couldn't feint him with water guns before he got to another one. So I decided to just let the Thunderbolt go. And he's going to go ahead and shield that and knock us out with foul play. But now we bring in Lucario. We do knock him out before he gets to another foul play, which is really good for us. And then we do send off this power-up punch. It will be met with a shield, but we have another power-up punch ready to go. So charging up a lot of energy against this Bastiodon, and we're able to knock it out. But at one point, I did think he was going to win that one, but we do pull it through. By the way, guys, just to let you know, the Sinister Cup is October's Cup. It was officially announced. Well, technically not really officially announced. I mean, they had said that's what the cup is going to be, but we don't know what the types are just yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But either way, I got to my charge moves, but I wasn't able to undertap, and I was not able to get off a charge move, unfortunately, so he knocked out my Togekiss before I was able to knock him out. Or at least get off a charge move, which may have taken a shield or may have knocked him out. Either one I would have been okay with, but right now he brings in his Tropius, and Tropius with Air Slash is going to beat Venusaur. We do get off this Sludge Bomb, which will be met with a shield, but even if he didn't shield, he would have still knocked us out. And then our final Pokemon, Lucario. So, yeah, not really a good team composition for me. I mean, Venusaur and Lucario are both going to be weak to Tropius, so he definitely got me there. Even if I did get off that charge move with Togekiss, we probably would have taken a shield from him, but he would have still ultimately ended up winning. We got off a Shadow Ball, but again, doesn't matter. He does pull the switch into Blastoise, which is fine, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're not going to be able to win this one. But getting off a Power Punch, that will be blocked, and then he'll get off a Hydro Cannon. We are out of shield, so that is easily going to knock out Lucario. So he does go ahead and finish us off. So really good game. Really good game. So let's jump into another one. This one we do lead with Alolan Muk again, and he leads with his Clefable. So definitely positive for us, although Charm is still chunking away at Alolan Muk. In fact, it's almost even. I mean, Alolan Muk will win this matchup, depending on shields, obviously. But we're going to go ahead and feint that Clefable, and trying to get off another Acid Spray before we go down. Obviously, that is ideal. Alolan Muk already did its job, but if we can get off one more Acid Spray, we're in a much better position because we'll be able to soften up this Blastoise, even if it was blocked, which I wasn't expecting it to be. And now I do decide to bring in my Lantern. He switches to Tropius. I'm going to pull the switch right away to my Skarmory, so I'm not going to let that Tropius completely destroy me this game. We did lag a little bit. As you could see, lagging again, but it doesn't really matter. We're still in a fantastic position. Again, we lagged, but we win this matchup. He is doing more damage to us than he probably should be, and that's just because we lagged a little bit. But again, it's okay. I do, because of that lag, decide to fire off a Sky Attack right now. It will knock out his Tropius, and then we get off another Sky Attack. And we're going to hit an excellent on there. He will pull the switch. We'll pull the switch, and he will go ahead and block that. And now he gets off a Hydro Cannon, but again, Lantern eats Hydro Cannons. Well, I should say it drinks Hydro Cannons all day long. And we'll fire off the Thunderbolt, but it will knock it out. I do decide to block this just because I knew I was like in a really comfortable position anyway. So I didn't have to use a shield, but I mean, 2 Hydro Cannons along with that extra water gun damage, would have knocked us out. So I did go ahead and block that, and then we do get to a Thunderbolt, and this is definitely going to be able to finish off Blastoise. So we do go ahead and take that game. So that was really fun. So we're going to jump into yet another game, which we do begin with ALOLAN MUK again, and he's going to begin with Clefable. So again, ALOLAN MUK will win this, but Clefable is still doing a lot of damage to us. We get off this Acid Spray, doing a good amount of damage. I mean, decent damage, I guess. And we're able to finish him off. And again, as always, we want to get to the Acid Spray, playing out the same way it did the previous game. He does bring in Tropius, which is was actually fantastic for us. Unfortunately, I just was not able to get off the Acid Spray, so that was really unfortunate. I do bring in Lantern because I don't really have anything great in the back. Again, bad team composition on my end. He's going to be able to easily be able to farm me down. Well, yeah, basically farm me down, or not even farm me down, just go for these moves, and he's going to take my shields. I do decide to go for the Power Up Punch, hoping to catch a shield. I mean, I wasn't really sure how I could come back from this. We do get the shield, so I guess that was one way, but you know, not really looking good. Again, should have thought about what Pokemon I wanted to bring. Not able to withstand this Tropius with the Pokemon I did bring. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and go down again. Or go down because he's going to hit us with a Leaf Blade. And then we bring in Lantern. And we're going to go down. You know, I could have brought in Lucario before Lantern, I guess, but it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, he's just able to easily knock us out. So, Tropius is really powerful Pokemon, so he will win that one. And we're going to jump into another game. I do decide to switch things up and lead with a Togekiss. This time, he leads with Tropius, so definitely a powerful matchup for me because we do resist his Leaf Blades. So we're going to be able to take this. It is a Leaf Blade. Because Togekiss is really squishy, it actually does a decent amount of damage. I do decide to not try and knock him out with Charm because I didn't think I'd be able to. In fact, I knew I wouldn't be able to. So we do knock him out with Ancient Power. He does lag a little bit, so I let him get in a free Charm. I wasn't sure if that really made a big deal or not. I do bring in my Squirmy. He switches to Blastoise, and then I'm going to pull the switch right out into my Lantern because we've seen this matchup before. We know Lantern can farm, well, not necessarily farm, but Lantern will beat Blastoise unless if Blastoise decides to invest shields, and I don't invest shields, then he will win this one. But yeah, I'm not going to go ahead and use a shield, so it looks like we will be losing to the Blastoise actually, but that's okay. Just because we don't get to Thunderbolt that fast, but we will win the matchup if we had Charge Beam. We don't have Charge Beam though, but either way, it's okay because we do bring in the Skarmory. Fire off a Sky Attack, he will block that, and that's great for us because we're up 2 shields. I do decide to just knock him out. I actually thought he'd get to another Hydro Cannon, but he wasn't able to. We get off this Sky Attack, which will knock out Clefable, and we're going to go ahead and take that game. So actually winning with 2 shields left, so that was pretty cool, I guess. I wasn't planning on doing that, it just so happened to be that way. But for this one, again, bringing in my ALOLAN MUK, and he does bring in his Clefable. A good lead on his end as well, because Clefable is a good lead, but so is ALOLAN MUK. Again, same strategy, same thing, just trying to knock out the Clefable as we're able to do so. And hoping to get to the Acid Spray as always. But are we able to? We are able to before that Bastiodon knocks us out. So that's definitely good for us. Obviously, he's not going to shield that, and then he'll be able to feint us down. But that's still good for us because we load his defense. He switches, I switch immediately before even seeing what comes in, and it happens to be that Tropius, so that was a good switch on my end because I knew it would be a counter to Lantern, whatever he brought in, so it happened to be that Tropius, but we're not letting that Tropius absolutely destroy us this time. Now I do go for the Ancient Power. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just continued to farm it down because now he was able to farm my Togekiss and get off a charge move. I mean, it doesn't matter because we're still able to take this game, and Lantern can just farm down this Bastiodon. We're just going to let him keep the shields. I'm not even going to go for Thunderbolt or Hydro Pump. It doesn't matter because they would be blocked, so I'll just feint him down with water guns. But it was actually a close game, because if he got off one more Stone Edge, he would have actually won. So it was actually a close game. So what I should have done was not went for that Ancient Power against Tropius. I should have just continued to farm it down, and he might have been able to get to another charge move before I was able to feint him with Charm. He probably would have been able to, but that would have been okay. We would have been in a better position, because we could have feinted him down with Water Gun from Lantern and just continued to hit Bashiodon without him farming up all that energy and still had the shield. So you guys get what I was saying. It was a mistake on my end. But either way, right now it's Clefable versus Skarmory. A little bit of lag, but we're able to handle it. And we're just trying to farm up a little bit of extra energy. He does hit us with what I knew was a Meteor Mash, so we're able to take that. I'm just going to farm down this Clefable, because I knew I couldn't get to another Meteor Mash, although it did a lot of damage to us as well. But it was totally worth it, because we're able to fire off this Sky Attack against his Blastoise. I didn't even go for all the rings. As you can see, I'm just like getting the nice, and then I'm just like exiting out, because it doesn't really matter. Not exiting out, but like stop attacking, because it doesn't matter. It was going to knock him out anyway. But we bring in Lucario, and this was actually going to be a tricky situation. I thought he was going to win this. He does get off the Leaf Blade, so nice bluff on his end. And we do get off the Shadow Ball. I did not think this would be enough to knock it out, but it actually isn't. But I knew I could take whatever move this was. It happened to be an Aerial-Ace, and we do take it, and we finish him off with counters. So very close game. He almost had that one. That Aerial-Ace almost knocked me out, but we're able to finish up the game. So we have another game. So this time he leads with Sableye. I lead with my Alolan Muk. Now, I'm not really sure. I didn't play this right. I switched into Lantern. I don't know. I mean, that wasn't really a great switch. I just didn't know how to respond to his Sableye, because I didn't have a counter to it. I didn't have my Charm user, right? No Togekiss. So I didn't really know how to respond to it. But obviously Lantern wasn't a great option, because he's able to knock us out, and now he gets off, I believe, another foul play, or he's going to, before I can knock him out. So we're really not doing so hot. Now, maybe I should have just stayed in with Alolan Muk, but Alolan Muk wasn't doing much. As you can see, we're going to use a shield. I thought he had won this one at this point, because I didn't really have an answer to that Sableye. So he does bring in his Blastoise. I'm going to go ahead and get off my Sky Attack, and I do switch in and immediately click on the Dark Pulse, knowing he would think it was an Acid Spray and not Shield. So I wasn't worried about making him less defensive. I was just concerned with knocking him out. So I do go ahead and block that one, and now I do go for the Acid Spray, because I was thinking, well, maybe he will block this to keep his Blastoise alive, as he does. But unfortunately, he's able to get to another Hydro Cannon before we could knock him out. So I bring in my Skarmory, and I wait to see what his next Pokemon is going to be. It's going to be that Clefable, and he pulls a switch trying to catch my Flash Cannon. So that was a really good move on his end, but we actually feint him with my fast move, his Sableye, and then we hit the Flash Cannon on Clefable and actually pull that one out. So if he had anything other than Clefable, I think we would have lost that one, but really good game. I can't believe we pulled that one off. But so we're going to jump into another one. I do lead with my Togekiss, and he leads with his Clefable. So again, same matchup you've seen before. We do go ahead and get off this Ancient Power, trying to knock him out. He will not allow it to happen, because he uses a shield. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Skarmory, knowing I could easily take this Meteor Mash. As you can see, no need to shield. We'll be able to take the Meteor Mash, and we're just going to feint him down. He actually pulls the switch, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the switch into my Lantern, just so I could farm up this Bashiodon, because we could take these moves. Now, it's still adding up. The damage definitely is. He's actually doing well. So I do decide to go for, I do go for the Hydro Pump, hoping he would not block, thinking it was a Thunderbolt, and I guess that's what happened, because he did not shield that. But if he did shield it, he would have been out shield, like completely out of shield. So I was okay with that as well. Trying to get to this last-ditch effort Thunderbolt, we're able to do it. I did not expect the shield in this situation, but he does go ahead and shield, and I switch into my Skarmory so I could fire off the Sky Attack. The reason I didn't expect the shield is because I knew, like, he knew I had Skarmory, but I guess he wasn't expecting to beat Skarmory anyway. So we are just able to finish him off with fast moves. So we do go ahead and take that one. So another great game, So we only have a couple more matches left, I believe, but this time we lead with that ALOLAN Muk, and he is leading with Sableye. Another matchup that not the greatest, but we have the counter Togekiss, and he does bring in his Clefable, so this is still good for us because we're able to do a lot of damage to his Sableye before he switches out. He was a little bit too slow on the switch. Good for me, and we could do a lot of damage to his Clefable. So I'll definitely take that. I decide to bring in my ALOLAN Muk, actually knocking out the Clefable, and he brings in his Sableye, getting off a foul play, but we resist that, so we'll be able to take it. I do go for the Dark Pulse, hoping to be able to just finish him off. He actually does block it, so I guess Acid Spray would have been better in that situation, but I kind of wasn't expecting a shield, but I guess because he's low on Pokemon, that's why he shielded, which makes sense. So I'm going to bring in my Lantern, and I do shield this because this is my last Pokemon, and I didn't want to take that, so we are able to knock him out with Water Gun. And now his final Pokemon, it's Bastiodon, so all I have to do is just go for the Hydro Pump. I still have a shield left, don't even need the shield. The Hydro Pump is going to be able to secure the win. It actually doesn't knock out Bastiodon, and he does get off his move, but we could have still taken this and knocked him out, and I also have that shield, so we're able to win that one. So it was a really fun game, This is actually a longer video than usual. But either way, for the next game, he leads with his Sableye, and I am leading with my Skarmory, hoping to catch the Clefable, even though Clefable's damage is still doing a decent amount of damage. But I do fire off the Sky Attack, planning on knocking out that Sableye. And let's see, we do get a little bit of lag, not really a big deal. He actually does block it, so we're not going to knock out anyone. And we both switch. I switch into my Togekiss, he switches into his Blastoise, and I will block this Hydro Cannon because I know I could get to my charge move, which is going to be Ancient Power, so we'll either take his last shield or knock him out, either of which I was okay with. And I was actually hoping I could feint him before his next Hydro Cannon, not the case, so I'll let it go through and allow Togekiss to be knocked out. So he does have switch advantage, but we are up a shield, so we'll see how this final game plays out. So he brings in Clefable, and I'm going to switch into my Skarmory. And again, still doing a good amount of damage, but you know, that's okay. I do decide to throw up the shield to protect myself from foul play, and now we get off a Sky Attack, which will be able to knock out this Sableye as it does. And his final Pokemon is that Clefable, and we actually do get to another Sky Attack, which I do believe knocks out this Clefable as it does. Actually, it doesn't. He does get the Meaty Mash, but we're going to be able to finish off Clefable anyway. If we hit the Excellent, it would have knocked it out. But either way, that is going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.